Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar today. I'm Natalie.
I'm Antje.
We are hosting this webinar today to educate you on how you can make your business more efficient using cloud technology. And I would say, let's get started with Leah Green.
Hello, everybody. Ladies, thank you so much for having me today. Can you see my screen okay?
Yes, we can.
Excellent, excellent. Let me just minimize this. So today I'm going to talk about better business in the cloud. Why cloud-based technology partners with a great accounting professional will ensure long-term success. So why work in the cloud? Some of the benefits to working in the cloud: you can work from anywhere. You have the ability to run your reports, send your invoices, organize your expenses, and more from any device. Now imagine, if you can see me here, being able to run your business the same way you run your life from this teeny tiny device that fits in your hand. What do you think that would do? So when you're leveraging cloud-based technologies, you have the ability, because of those devices, because we're connected to the cloud, to do things like schedule your automatic invoices. Think about how you invoice your own customers. You can track your sales and expenses while you're on the go. You can create any report necessary with one click, all while you're on the road with the teeny tiny device that fits in your hand. You'll always have the latest updates, so you're always able to keep current. Whether it's new tax rates, new features, you're getting all the latest updates automatically at all times. You'll always automatically be able to download and organize any bank transactions that you have. You can also track your receipts. You can connect to hundreds of online apps that help you run your business as a whole, outside of just the financial management piece. You can track your receipts on the go. As I mentioned, with our mobile devices, our tablets, our cell phones, etc., you have the ability to now take a photo of your receipt, submit it in, crumple it up, and you're good to go. You'll always have automatic backups. So imagine, if something happened to your hard drive on your PC, if there was a flood, if there was a fire, if there was a virus that happened, where would all of your data go? When you're working in the cloud, you have the opportunity to have complete security. You have everything up to date and in sync. You've got it automatically backed up at all times. So there's no risk of ever losing your sensitive information. You can collaborate. You now have the ability to share access in real time between yourself and your bookkeeper or your accountant, which means that you can always access your books remotely to be able to help you keep on track at all times. It also changes the way you interact with your accounting professional, whether it's your bookkeeper looking at your day-to-day, whether it's your accountant taking care of your year ends and your taxes. You have the ability to now engage in more meaningful conversations about the performance of your business. We also have the ability for automation. Organizational efficiencies help you streamline your workflows and automate your processes. What does that mean? It frees up your time, so you can spend more time working on your business instead of in it. You'll have less data entry. A lot of those transactions, a lot of that day-to-day is automatically pulled in for you. It's automatically recorded. You no longer have to come back to your office at the end of the day and spend 2 hours in your evening entering in all of your sales, all of your receipts, etc., all of your invoices. That's all done for you. You've got smarter business tools. So when you log in, you now have this beautiful dashboard that gives you the ability to have full line of sight to the overall health of your business. You can see your profit and loss statements. You can see the state of your expenses. You can see which bank accounts are synced and what shape they're in. You can check your current sales. You also have the ability to drop down and choose, Do I want to see the sales or the profit and loss or the expenses for this week? Do I want last week? Do I want last month? Do I want the last year? You can also see what the state of your invoices are in. Is there clients or customers that you need to call out on to pay their bills? This allows you to have full line of sight overall health. You can now be proactive running your business instead of reactive. And because of this, you now have the ability to make better business decisions from the start as opposed to when it's too late. You also have the ability to keep more of what you earn. So you can keep track of, are your expenses getting out of hand? Are we spending too much money? Keep track of your invoices, wondering, do I need to get paid? Are there certain bills that we need to pay? Are we still waiting on undeposited funds? You can review these and get ahead of it. You can also track if your sales are trending for the week towards your forecast. Are you too low? Are you higher? What's causing that? What's the impact here? You have more resources to run your business as a whole outside of just the financial management piece. You can now keep track of your cash flow. As we know, cash is king in any business. You can also keep track of your expenses. You can manage your spending month to month, navigate what are we spending the most on, what are we spending the least on. You can also track your inventory. You can take care of your invoicing. Now imagine if you have to invoice a customer and you can now create that invoice or an estimate on a tablet while you're sitting in front quoting a job for one of your customers. You can do that automatically. Imagine being able to send that via email. You can include a pay now option if you've now turned this into an invoice. What does that do for you and to how you interact with your customer base? What do you think that means for you, how you run your business, and how it reflects on you as a professional? And all of that because your accounting professional set you up with the right software to run your business. You can also run your payroll if you have staff to take care of. You can run that all from one place. You can take care of your taxes, keep on top of your quarterly taxes. The business is always better with an accountant. Now, there are approximately 1.2 million small businesses across Canada. This was a stat taken by Stats Canada about a year and a half ago. And 1 out of every 2 businesses fail within the first 5 years of doing business due to poor financial management. We've also found that even profitable businesses have been forced to close their doors due to cash flow problems. And 89% of small businesses that we polled say that they're more successful because of working with an accountant. So with an accounting professional, what does that bring you? When you work with someone like your good bookkeeper, your good accountant, you get the foresight to understand what's happening in your business so that you can get from where you are to where you want to be. You have the ability to set business goals, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years at a time, even 10 years. You can plan your retirement. You've also got the confidence, the peace of mind that puts you at ease that your numbers are right from the beginning, which also will prevent you from additional costs down the road. If there's a mishap in tax calculations, that could cost you a lot in additional fees or unpaid taxes that are due. You now have the freedom. You have time on your side. You've got the ability to focus on what you do best in your business and building your business as opposed to worrying about managing the books. Your collaboration is now made easy. Your relationship between yourself and your accounting professional has completely changed. Simply put, you can log in from your end. You can submit your receipts. You can track your invoices, track your sales. There's no more needing to track an entire box full of pieces of paper to bring to your bookkeeper at the end of the month. and have them enter that in and then wait a week or two to hear what your results are. You can have that automatically in real time, immediate. If you need to provide specific financial statements to the bank, if you want to apply for a loan, when you have a good accounting professional in your corner and you're using the right tools, you now have the ability to pull that proper information, that proper data immediately in real time when you need it. You know, not only do you get that full line of sight to the overall health of your business, you can set new business goals each year. They can help you with your tax planning. They can go through your cash flow analysis, different services for you. You now have the ability to make more informed business decisions. You can see the visual areas for improvement in your business. You can see how profitable you are. And you can look at succession planning. A lesson in business that everyone needs to adhere to, I believe, is we must adapt and change in order to survive and thrive. I fully believe this quote that all progress takes place outside of our comfort zone, because nothing changes if nothing changes. And when you're working with individuals like Angie and Natalie, they'll give you the ability to find better ways of doing business. They'll not only change your business, but they'll change your life. And with that, Natalie, Angie, time to take over.
Okay. Thank you, Leah.
Thank you so much, Leah. Okay, yeah, so now we are going to talk a little bit about what we do for our clients. So what makes us different? So as you probably already heard on our accent, we are not originally from Canada, we are from Germany, so we are bilingual. I do have experience in international tax, and also a trades background. I grew up in a trades family, and I have a good understanding of the pain points of the construction business. We teamed up with local professionals for each department, business coaches, accountants, and bookkeepers. We also go above and beyond just bookkeeping. We provide like the technology. We set up all the applications needed for each business and also provide the support for those applications. We have experience in startup businesses, as well as we were startup businesses after we immigrated to Canada, and also know about what you have to keep in mind if you want to hire foreign workers. Yeah. So now.
Okay, and here are some our tools we are helping our clients with. For sure, not every client needs all the tools we are providing. We just pattern all the tools to the needs of our clients as just individual, and we are also doing fixed pricing, so there's no better price for the customer, so they get the whole support and service from us for the price they get told from the beginning. And yeah.
Okay. And then here are some quotes our first clients said about our services. And so now we are happy to hear about Knowify from Terrin.
Yeah, thanks, and thanks for having me. Let me get my screen up. Rather than doing a PowerPoint, I always like to show the inside of Knowify a little bit. And just as a high-level introduction, Knowify is at its core a project management software that, like QuickBooks Online, is hosted on the cloud. And what we do is we give you real-time reporting, not just on your company as much as on all of your jobs and kind of where you stand as far as your profitability goes. And the process that we like to highlight is budget, bid, track, and invoice. And so the process really starts with that budgeting. So I'll show you a little bit more about kind of how this all works. We could put in information about, who the customer is, and this is integrating with your QuickBooks account as you go. So any new customers that you're adding in Knowify are automatically going to push to QuickBooks. And we do pull in your existing QuickBooks database as well. And once we have the job set up, it's going to ask me for information about, how much do you expect the job to cost you? What's going to be your budget on this project? So I could say, let's add a job phase for our site prep where it'll cost us $1,000 in materials and $2,000 in labor. But we can also get more detailed than that. So I could say we need to do framing, which will consist of our lumber. And when I put in a list of materials and a quantity of each of them, it'll actually build a materials budget for me using that information. This is also integrated with our QuickBooks products and services catalog, so we can manage that as well. I could put in how many expected hours out of each type of employee. A laborer will be there for 40 hours and the foreman for 20. And once this information is in the system, hitting this create proposal button will actually automatically create something that I can email to my customer right through Knowify. I'll put in what I want my markup percentages to be, so it'll take the budget and add the additional dollars for our profit. And you'll see that this is going to build a proposal document automatically using the information that I've stored in my budget, and then it's going to use our markup and all of the client information. And this can even be emailed to the customer for digital e-signature. So the idea is that we're managing everything all in one place, so I don't need to jump around all different softwares to get this kind of functionality. Once the job is live, I can actually use that list of information that we put together for our budget, and I can actually start quoting prices with that. Sorry, not quoting prices. I can start ordering my materials and tracking my actual cost. So if I click order materials, I just choose what I want to order, and it generates a purchase order for me. This is, again, how we're really starting to automate these flows, so I don't need to keep re-entering information. Once it's in once for the budget, it's used again for my proposal, again for my ordering. Here's just an example of what our POs are going to look like. And then I can log my bills directly into Knowify. And since we have the PO information, I don't need to re-enter that. We know what you've purchased with this vendor, and now I have a bill going into the system. And in real time, what this is doing is pushing to QuickBooks, so you don't have to re-enter this information. It just enters once into Knowify, again to QuickBooks. So you get all that really detailed back-end accounting reporting through QuickBooks that Leah was referring to earlier. And on the Knowify side, you get detailed reporting on how you're doing on the project. And then aside from just having the material costing side of these things, we can also manage the actual project itself through scheduling. This will let me set different dates to the job. Our site prep should start today and be done by Friday. And then in our calendar, we can schedule a crew. And through our smartphone app, they can punch in and punch out of the job site. So instead of just a lump sum hour entry, they can actually say what time they got there, what time they left, and if they were at the job site as they said they were. I'm just going to manually plug in their hours here. What was my job number? 1519. And since every employee is going to be associated with an hourly rate, we're going to give you real-time labor costing as well. You see the hours going to review, and approved hours can push to our QuickBooks account too. And when I see how I'm doing on this project right now, it's actually going to give me a real-time cost versus budget report that shows me my material and labor breakdown and my breakdown of cost versus budget on each phase of the job. Again, what's really handy here is that all of this information is getting updated with the natural flow of managing our project through time, purchases, and everything that you would normally be doing. You're just running it through Knowify, so you get all of this detailed reporting in real time. Then, aside from our cost side of Knowify, since we have the contract in the system, you can actually manage your invoices as well. So I can put in a percentage of completion of each line. This will generate an invoice document, which can be sent to your customer right through Knowify. And again, since we have this really detailed integration with QuickBooks, it's going to push this to the QuickBooks account as well, so you don't need to re-enter it. And since I now have cost in the system against this job, and I also have revenue, I'll get a real-time statement on how profitable I am on this project. And so again, this is showing the benefit of having a system that is all fully integrated with QuickBooks. It's all about and now, as opposed to having to run a report at the end of the month to see how you did on jobs that maybe too late. And in our experience, we've actually found that customers using Knowify will thrive even more when using the services of a company like Natalie's that can really help you, not just manage your books, but also your business, and give you a little bit more insight as to what you can do better to always improve your bottom line. That's everything I had on my end, but I'll transfer it back over to you guys.
Thank you so much, Terrin.
Yeah, no problem.
Right. Thank you, Terrin. That was incredible. Can you guys hear me okay right now?
Yeah. Yes, we can hear you.
Perfect, making sure. So Natalie and Angie, while we're waiting for Casson from ReceiptBank to join us, why don't you talk a little bit more about the type of services that you provide? Maybe if you have any real life stories that you might want to share on specific clients that you've worked with.
Yes, so especially with construction businesses, when they have their busy season, everything is pretty chaotic, especially when you have like all the paper stuff you have to kind of get in order. And we have one construction client who just actually told me that he is just so happy that he got set up all this technology, and he now really realized how much time that saves and nothing goes missing, because like when he's always on a job site and traveling, he cannot keep his receipts all together, right? And yeah, he can focus on his business and going to the job sites knowing everything is right in place.
Amazing. That's so exciting. That is so exciting. I can share a really fun story that that I have, actually, one of my favorite ones that I like to tell to all my contractors out there. So for those contractors listening, I did a very large renovation on my condo. It was $80,000. I'm not afraid to say it. And when my contractor came to my parents' house to meet me, to give me my quote on what the job was going to cost, what it was going to look like, etc. His name was Josh, and Josh brought me a piece of paper with chicken scratch handwriting on it. And I said, Josh, are you kidding me? Josh, are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now? And I asked him, you know, how does he usually do his invoices? What are his favorite tools to use? And he got really excited to tell me how he has his iPhone and it links to his iPad, and he gets really excited to use the two of them together. And so, me being a little bit cheeky as I can be, I said, Josh, you want to see something cool? And I downloaded a trial of QBO for him. And I kind of gave him a mini demo on the spot, and I showed him how he could enter in specific line items and how he could then build an estimate, send it to me via email right from his iPad while he's sitting in my living room or my kitchen, and give me the opportunity to review it say, yes, we're good to go, respond via email, and he can now start building out invoices as they do, instead of a piece of paper with chicken scratch for a very large reno.
That's a good story.
And yeah, and I was amazed at, you know, what the impact that was for him in the future going forward. I mean, my job took about, let's see, May, June, July, about 4 months in total for my renovation. And let me tell you, we tore apart my condo. We gutted the place and redid everything. And in the 4 months, I asked him how different it was for him to not only track receipts for each of his jobs, you know, track what he was spending, how does he, you know, minus what he's already spent from whatever upfront deposits he was taking from clients. I mean, me personally, I gave him an incredibly large one to get started, larger than what you'll usually give them because of how we were friends, etc. And he had a hard time before keeping track of, you know, what was being purchased, how do I track the receipts against, you know, the deposits that were already previously given. And he found that ever since he switched and he was using, you know, these different tools all paired together, it just became so much easier for him. He was able to spend more time focusing on the jobs at hand. And then he was able to actually start quoting on more jobs and taking on more work, where he was then able to hire on a few other contractor employees to work for him so that they could take on more business. And that was all within the 4 to 6 months that we were working together just to finish my condo. And all of that came from, you know, what I was able to teach him just using these tools. Because I look at them like that's all they are. They're just tools and resources to run the business. And, you know, we have all this amazing technology at our fingertips. So why not use it for what it's best, you know, intended for?
That's true. I mean, people are using it for their personal life already, right? So
yeah, exactly. You know, I mean, think about how much more efficient you are when you can, you know, do your online banking, or even the simple things that people don't think of, like their grocery store app. You know, finding where, you know, certain items are on sale, or building out your grocery list, and how much more efficient you're able to be that way. You know, imagine what that means to transfer into your business side of things.
That's right.
And that was just one example I had of how leveraging these tools, you know, made it possible to change this person's daily business life. So Cassie should be joining us in just a few minutes.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm on the line.
Oh.
Perfect. Cassie, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Leah, and nice to meet you both virtually here. It sounds like you were talking about maybe queuing me up there a little bit, Leah, talking about.
Exactly. You know, and what better way to get all of your receipts in and track them and save all of that time and hassle than to leverage an incredible, robust tool like ReceiptBank. And with that, I would love to introduce the lovely Cassin from ReceiptBank to take us through that and how that can benefit you.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm ready to. Oh, all right. You're already passing the buck here, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And so I think based off what the tail end of the conversation I heard, and from how Leah was sort of teeing things up here, I think it's, you know, she did a really good job of kind of explaining the benefit and the convenience, not just from the client standpoint, but also from the accounting perspective. And so what I'd like to do here, and I'm looking at the list. Do we have some of your clients on here, Natalie, or is it just the three of us right now?
It's just the three of us right now.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. That's what I thought. Just wanted to make sure. And so essentially what we do here at ReceiptBank is we partner with accounting firms, and make it so that they're able to provide their clients with the technology and the type of service that makes it really easy for them to get you their receipts, get you their invoices in real time. Obviously, convenience for the client, real-time data, and you're able to kind of chip away at the work throughout the month from your perspective, and also just cutting out some of the more tedious processes there. And so what I'll do here is I'll kind of walk you through the accounting side of things, the accounting platform, and then walk you through how the client can get data in, what happens from there, and sort of talk through the benefits and some of the general workflows we see a lot of our partners using. Does that sound okay to everyone? Alrighty. So essentially what we're looking at here, and I'll give you a little bit of background because the way that we partner with accounting firms is a little bit different, I guess, than how QBO would be set up, where it's it's a per license, per client type of agreement. Rather than per client or per document that we'll process and store, we charge a flat monthly rate for unlimited clients and submissions. And so what we have here with this page is our client management tab. We've got our clients sort of broken out, nice and easy to view here. And what we're able to see is that over on the right side here, we have not updated our demo environment, but it shows you which clients you have set up in ReceiptBank. It's also going to show you how many receipts and invoices they have submitted that have been processed and are waiting for your review. Kind of helps prioritize which clients that we want to tackle first. We want to chip away at some of the smaller batches or kind of knock out the more volume heavy transaction clients. And so what we can do from here is once we've decided which client we're working on, we click into their account, and I will circle back to this page. This is essentially where everything is sitting after the client submitted it, but I think it's easier to kind of just go chronologically. And so this page just kind of shows you high level how clients can use the tool. So Leah had mentioned the mobile app and how when contractors, for example, or obviously any client can do this as well, but they're out and about, they're always on the go. It's easy for things to kind of slip through the cracks. And what we provide is the option for them to open up our app, take a picture of their receipt right when they get it, press submit, and they're done. They don't have to worry about it. It comes right to you. They don't have to worry about losing it in the truck on the way to the next job or putting it through the wash the next time they do a load of laundry. Now, there's a few other methods, and I would say the app is where we see, I think the last number I heard was 58% of receipts are coming through there. What clients also get is a dedicated email address. And with that, it's going to be used for if they're currently scanning and emailing things to you, it keeps it out of your inbox, which is really nice. But it's also great for any e-receipts or invoices that they get. It's their first last name at receiptbank.me, so it's easy to remember. And they can just forward that email right off to there. Again, keeps it out of your inbox, keeps things from being, all over the place or collecting documents a million different places that you have to look, and kind of streamlines that side of things. I'll circle back to this one, but I think the invoice fetch is almost like it was a build off of that, because what we've enabled ourselves to do here is kind of almost cut out the middleman for a lot of suppliers. It's great for the Amazon transactions. If you have clients that use that a lot, it's great for pretty much most major online suppliers, but specifically the most common use cases are going to be utility companies, cell phone, internet companies. And so what the client's able to do is log into their account through ReceiptBank in their Google business account in this case. That creates a connection so that as soon as the invoice or the receipt is generated on that side, we're going to pull that in automatically. It's one less step for the client to even think about. And again, those monthly recurring invoices from Shaw, TELUS, Rogers, or hydro or electric companies, it's nice just to kind of take that off their plate. And then lastly, good old fashioned, just scan the document and upload it. Really nice function is the multi-item PDF, which allows you to have up to 50 different receipts in one PDF. We'll split them up and process them individually. Any sort of questions on the client side of things? I mean, it's relatively straightforward, things that small business owners are doing every day to run their business as it is, but happy to dive deeper if there's any further clarification needed. Alrighty. So the next part is where the you start seeing the benefits shift from convenience for the client to time savings and convenience for you and your firm. And that's because anything that comes through, anything that's submitted into ReceiptBank is going to be sitting here waiting for you to review it. It's going to tell you which of their employees submitted it, if it's a bill or a receipt, and then the date, supplier, total, and sales tax are all pulled off the document automatically for you. What's really nice is with our QBO integration, it's going to pull over the chart of accounts automatically. So it's the same uniform language. And once you teach us that Uber should be coded to travel using the dropdown here, every further future Uber receipt is going to be automatically populated and coded to travel. So what that means, and QBO will do that with the bank feeds as well. But what that means for you is that whenever there's the potential that it could be 18 different things, or it could be a different thing every time they go to that store, is now you just have to search by or look at the supplier and say, okay, Apple, we probably want to check that one out. Google, Amazon, we should definitely take a look at those. And you can easily click in, view the document, make sure it's coded correctly, or Starbucks, what if there's a tip on there? We can come in, edit the line items to take the tip off, or code it to 6 different things if we would need to do that. Obviously, Starbucks not an example of a supplier that sells more than one thing, but just for the sake of an example here. And from there, what will happen is you would just have to publish everything over. And one question I get is, how is it going over? Will it, what happens when the document gets published? Essentially, it's going to sit in QBO under the expenses tab and search across all of the corresponding bank and credit card feeds, meaning that the client is able to, you rather are able to eliminate the need for worrying about duplicates, for mapping things out yourself. And when you approve the match in QBO, it pulls over the data, it pulls over the category, the sales tax will be attached, and it's going to automatically just match up and sync and attach the PDF there. So it's really just a matter of coming in, checking, once a day, once a week, depending on what your workflow is, to see what's come through, making sure it's coded correctly, publishing and approving the matching QBO. And so it goes from any sort of question that you maybe need to reach out to a client to clarify an expense, or any data entry you might otherwise be doing, to just kind of letting ReceiptBank sort of do the heavy lifting for you. Now, one other thing I'd like to cover, something that you can use as a value presentation or a value proposition to clients, in addition to sort of the convenience and the fact that they're going to be tracking their sales tax more efficiently and more accurately, is also the archive. And one thing I really like to show everybody about this is yes, everything will be stored in QBO. It's all safe. You can work with it there. But in the event of an audit, and I'm sure you're aware, CRA has been kind of on a hiring binge recently. So audits are probably going to become more and more common. What you're able to do is search, sort, filter, and download everything that's stored, that's been submitted into ReceiptBank. So I can come in and say, show me all of 2017's expenses. Or I can get more specific. I can say, show me 2017, $100 and up meals expenses. And it'll pull a report that is downloadable as a PDF or a CSV Excel file format. And it's a kind of a nice peace of mind for clients. Our partner firms are saying, hey, as long as you take pictures of your receipts, if you should ever get audited, in 24 hours or less, we're going to be able to turn around and have everything that the auditor is looking for. And in reality, it's only taking them, probably 5-10 minutes to filter out and find what's needed, download it, and put it on a flash drive or send it over to the agent. And it's it's one of those things. It's kind of like it automates the front end of the accounting process, so that everything can get into QuickBooks faster, easier, a little smoother, and you can get to doing what it is that you do best, which is working with the numbers and helping your clients understand what they mean.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. So Leah, I'm not sure if there's any questions. I'm happy to field them now, or Leah, I think I'll pass back to you.
Okay.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, of course, no problem.
I really like to stress the importance of kind of tying it all together. Like I said earlier, we want to leverage these tools and resources for what they are. They're tools and resources to run your business as a whole outside of just the financial management piece. And so you look at specific third-party apps, tying into your financial management software like QBO, the same way that you look at the apps that power and run your life that you would download onto your mobile device. It's important to look at the big picture. And that's where, when you're working with someone like Angie and Natalie, they can help to point you in the right direction and set you up for success from the start. Ladies?
Thank you so much, Leah.
All right. Well, thank you to everyone for watching today's webinar. We will give you back some time in your afternoon if there's not anything else that you ladies would like to add.
Just thank you for having all of you here today, for supporting us, and thank you, Leah, again, to be with us today.
Excellent, excellent. Well, anytime, it is my pleasure, and I'm glad that we were able to have both Terrin and Casson in from Knowify and from ReceiptBank. Glad to have them join us as well. I hope that this has been educational for everyone. And if there are any other questions, any additional information, feel free to reach out to Natalie and Angie. I am quite easy to find, Leah Green at intuit.com. And looking forward to the next one. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much, Leah.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Have a nice day. Bye.